Dennis Schroder.
He's gonna say Drake. Oh, never mind.
What
How
about
is he
him?
going to fit? And are you worried at all, Jimmy Toscano? Because you are a little bit.
Me? I'm
Yeah.
all about Dennis Schroder. I'm all on the
Wait,
Dennis.
who's worried? Bobby,
Schroder
are
I'm
you
worried.
That's Bobby.
I'm extremely worried. Yeah.
Bobby's the worry guy. Here.
Extremely.
Extremely.
Oh
I
my
think
God,
Schroeder's going to be
all
fine.
you hear is negative things.
You go first, Bob, since you're the cry.
Yeah.
You're the cry.
The
sky's falling. Yeah.
Out in Vegas when he signed, it's a lot of negativity around this guy. He's in a pretty low point, and I think the contract kind of speaks to that. You know, you're in a market where there was a handful of point guards. I think he kind of got squeezed by the position a little bit. And there was real concerns about how he ended the year with the Lakers, the whole vaccine situation, which again is going to be a big deal this year. The first question he's going to get in training camp is, did you take the vaccine? And so they were going to go again with that thing that we just talked about with Cam Newton. So there's going to be very important. Going to be very important questions going into the year because, again, we saw how COVID just engulfed the Celtics last year. Now, in terms of on the court, and if that stuff doesn't end up happening, I do kind of think he brings what they need to the table, a secondary facilitator at the point guard spot. He can defend, which is fitting the profile of what the team's going to do here. But is he going to want to take a lot of shots and sort of, prove it with that contract? I tend to think he's going to want to be fitting in a more stable situation and, contributing to winning here. Because, again, this is kind of his last shot to get a big deal and not be pigeonholed as a minimum mid-level guy here. So I love the signing. At that value, as Sherrod said over and over again that week, you can just cut him if something goes drastically wrong. But I do think there's concern in just introducing this to the room. This array of worries around him and his game and his situation off the court here. But I think you had to take it if you were the Celtics, and this is what I think Jimmy's going to get into, just because they really needed help at that position. The price was undeniable, and obviously he wanted to be here and take advantage of the opportunity that was here to some degree. So he was Sixth Man of the Year 2 years ago. I think it's a good risk, but there's certainly a risk here.
It's an unbelievable gift that they received, that they were able to get this guy. And if they're trying to build the best team, they play on the court. They need to all be big boys and adults and get along, and they don't have to be best friends. We know that, right, guys? We know that. They don't have to be best friends, but they need to be teammates. They need to support each other. They need to play for each other. And I think Schroder fits because of his style of play. He's not a guy who's going to try to take 20 shots a game. He doesn't need 20 shots a game. I mean, he'll take a shot if you give it to him. But listen, if he's going to get under opponent's skin, I'm all for that. I mean, this is a guy that gets under everybody's skin. I don't want him to get under his teammates' skin. I don't think he will. I don't even know if these guys practice half as much as they used to. I don't know if they're around each other half as much as they used to. I don't know if they're going to be separated because of COVID.
If he doesn't get a vaccine, he's going to be on the other side of the bus.
He won't be. Yeah, he won't be able to bother anybody on his team. He's going to be in the different locker room. So, I mean, listen, it's in his best interest to be a good soldier and to go out there and play basketball and do what he does best, because he doesn't want people ragging on him for another contract that he's missed. He wants to prove that he's still worth more than what he took this year, and he did take a steep discount, and he took it for a reason. I think he took it for a reason. I think he took it because he thinks he can win with these guys, and he can show what he's good at, and if he can put together a good season, then he can sign a 3-4 year deal for let's call it $50 million, whatever it is. So
it's
I'm not worried about
Jimmy.
That. I'm not worried about that.
He's got to wear 84, right?
Why?
For the $84 million.
For the $84 million.
Oh.
They passed up.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm telling you this, and I know some people are saying that this might be a little bit overhyped or whatever, but I really do generally think that he's a diehard Celtics fan at heart. Like, whether it was maybe things didn't work out with the Lakers that just fit in with that narrative, but either way, I think he generally wants to be here. I don't think he thought it would be for under this circumstance, at least going into free agency. But playing for the Celtics means something, and I also think that without Kemba Walker on this team and Marcus Smart sliding into a more strictly playmaker role opens up more touches for him. More opportunities to score. Whereas he's not, a second option on this team, but essentially could be a third option, at least down the stretch, especially in those clutch games. At the end of the day, he's trying to clean up that narrative of the rumors and the hype that he might be a bad teammate. And also, he's trying to get as close to the NBA Finals as he can, because he knows that's going to also help his pockets in next summer in the negotiating, So it all bodes well for the Celtics. Maybe there's some parts of the season where he tends to get a little selfish, but I also think he's going to care a lot about stacking up those assists and just looking overall like the ideal guy to have on both ends of the floor.